Good morning, this is totally random.
Featuring Franz Maruna and Andrew Embler.
Hello! Welcome to Totally Random. I'm Franz, this is Andy.
Howdy, everybody.
It's April on a day, it's like the 12th? 13th?
Yeah.
So it's like the 12th.
You know,
this is your periodic show about concrete5. Let's jump right into the news. We've got some exciting bits of news this week. Right off the top, ThemeForest added concrete5 to their CMS list. So you know, CMS, a quick drop down there on CMS. Boom!
Oh.
Right after Drupal,
There we are.
concrete5. Yeah, so that's exciting, and there's some really good looking themes in there. They're just starting. They haven't really done their official announcement on it yet. They're just kind of soft launching it and seeding it with some stuff, and we're talking with them about ways we can work together, and it's very exciting. ThemeForest is, I don't know, kind of the leading, one of two leading theme
one of the
libraries.
one of the first ones I think of.
Heavy players, and I think of the world of online theme libraries, and you know, that guess is part of a whole kind of design-centric audience that I think concrete5 will really excel at. So we're very excited. Hello, ThemeForest, and excited to work together.
Excellent.
More news. We got books.
Ooh,
There's this one.
I have not seen this yet.
Right. So if you
Very
are
excited.
Dutch, or you can just speak Dutch. Decite map, that kind of thing. Or, alternatively, if, I gotta get up to show you the glory of this. If you're interested in turtles,
Here we are.
here we go. Turtles, roller skates, army hats, and firecrackers.
We are going to
Rubber
take
bands,
you
too.
from being a slow turtle.
Yeah, if any of those things
Super
appeal to you, and
fast
you
rocket.
can suffer through Dutch, then you want this book. And you get it through De Web Makers. And yeah, well, how to use concrete5 and
Excellent.
yeah, Dutch. So that's pretty cool. Right over there.
More books.
More books. There's another book
More
about
books.
concrete5. Second book from Pact and Remo about making themes. Good book. Nice content. Handy. You like making themes? This would be good for you. Good, just could sit right on your desk.
I like the targeted books. Like
Targeted
the
books.
perhaps
Simple.
less
Yeah.
of an overarching.
Yeah,
tome
you
of
can actually
reference.
cover making themes in concrete5 quite handily in 100.
Specific focus. Is
How
nice.
many pages? 144 pages. It also looks like there is like a picture of like a cherry tree from inside a gin and tonic, which I think is fantastic.
That works for me as well.
So we have quite a few of these. Quite a few. We've got half a dozen, and we'd like to give one away to you. So if you would like this book,
The one in your hand right now.
yeah,
is
yeah,
exactly
this one, I'll give it to you. All you got to do is be the 5th person to post something compelling to our Facebook page. You may not know that concrete5 has a Facebook page. We certainly barely know that we have a Facebook page, but we have a Facebook page. There it is. You find it at facebook.com/concrete5.
Hey, we're on Facebook.
Yay! Yeah, you know, it looks like it's mostly just us posting these videos to that, so that can be nothing but exciting for everyone, I'm sure, and it'd be nice to see some of you all posting your pictures in there and making your friends like it, that kind of thing. So, 5th person to post something compelling today gets one of these. That's how that works.
Very good.
Boom. Last bit of news.
Ooh.
There's new pricing for the Enterprise Suite. If you are interested in workflow or internationalization, and you went to the Enterprise site, which it looks like Matt's about to show you, it's blue and corporate feeling. Oh yeah, look at that bad boy.
That looks trusted.
That's so trustworthy. I feel corporate. But we do, in all seriousness, have a really powerful Enterprise workflow tool that lets you take the preview publish, just kind of very simple approval system that's built into the free core, and extend that into a multi-step, falls back in different ways, change permissions as you go, lock pages, map different permissions to different workflows, do things so like the SEO people have to approve this and the marketing people have to approve that. You have a complicated business process. You can model it with this.
This will help solve
this will do the job. So if that's what you want, or you want the enterprise internationalization add-on, which adds all sorts of kind of process tools on top of the free internationalization approach that we have in the marketplace. Both of those are great. In the past, we've sold them for large fixed figures, pay me once and forever hold your peace. Now we also offer a monthly subscription where you don't have to pay as much up front and you still get to enjoy the goodness that is concrete5 for Enterprise. So there's that.
Excellent.
And
excellent
that's
news.
the news. It is excellent news. Let's do some karma.
Karma winners, come on down.
All right, so in our community, we give karma points out for doing things. Some of that's automated, some of that happens by hand. But whether you are helping people in the community or working on the project or just promoting things, you get karma points and they add up. And every week we run the karma machine and pick some winners, and it assigns them licenses for add-ons. Let's see who won.
Looks like M. Nalake won a copy of Registered User Pro.
Cool.
That's for helping out in the forums. We've got Hostco winning a copy of the document library for promoting concrete5. And John the Fish gets a copy of the dealer locator.
Nice.
For doing work.
Good stuff, good stuff. Thank you everybody very much. I noticed that one of those add-ons is not even from us. And I saw something in the chat thread earlier. If you are a add-on or theme developer and you would like some of your stuff given away to our active community of people who might like to try it but perhaps not buy it, at least to begin with, it's a great way to get your work in front of the hands of someone who is helping end customers make purchasing decisions on concrete5. Just PM Julia and she can add some licenses, as many as you'd like, to our pool of licenses that we apply to the karma machine. There's that.
There it is.
Right? We have any pictures?
Yeah, we got one this week.
Cool. Wow, nice. Nice is a concrete5 taking over on the WordPress stickers.
It really
There's
is.
a balance.
We are just kind of coming down like a hammer on top of the other.
Well, we're larger, but I do notice the one WordPress sticker is kind of on top of the corner
Yeah,
of
that's
concrete5.
fair.
Mixed emotions on that,
Yeah.
but I do appreciate that we're in there at all. Whoa, what's going on? So that looks good.
Very cool.
Thank you. If you would like, you get karma points for even doing that. If you'd like to put stickers on things that that you like, places that you go, people that you see, I don't know if you should put stickers on people that you see,
It's
but you
probably
can.
not the nicest thing to do to someone.
Whatever. We'll give you stickers. We'll give it to you for free. All you got to do is tell us where to send them, and we will send them in the U.S. mail. The way you do that is you go to our marketplace page, and underneath there is swag. You scroll down to the bottom, past the t-shirts and past the awesome swag kit. You just put your mailing address in this form field, and we'll send you stickers. Your mailing address has to be your physical mailing address. So it's not an email, it's not your name, that is not your fax number. It's got to be a street, city, province, prefecture, something like that, country, zip code, some line breaks in there so we know how to print it. All that's what we need, and then we will burn your address, and we will send you stickers, and we will be so happy when they don't come back to us in the mail.
And then we will see them on
We'll see them. Yeah, you'll put them on things, you take a picture, we put them on, we're like, cool, good job, and hilarity ensues. So there's that. I think we're done with karma.
I think so.
Let's do some PRBing.
Introducing Great Choice by Greg Joyce.
All right, that's good.
All right. What is going on, Greg?
Well, I don't know. I guess my choice this week is patience, persistence. I don't know. I got this plant for free like 2 years ago, and
Nice.
it was one leaf, and then it made this bloom that I took a picture of last night.
It's a beautiful bloom, man.
That is.
Yeah, I think it's that amaryllis.
Oh,
It's
wow.
about 7 inches across. It's
Amarillo,
pretty
my
impressive.
goodness. That's a great choice.
Yeah.
Wow. And another earnest choice this week.
Yeah.
Had a few
Yeah,
really
man,
meaningful,
cultivating.
really meaningful choices.
Well, I don't know, man. I gotta get more cynical with it.
Yes, I mean, it's nice to see you so passionate, man.
2013 is the year of
Yeah,
feelings.
yeah, no, man. Just like whole new authenticity can really disgust me. So
That's cool, man. That's cool. I'm glad to see you so comfortable. What other choices have you made recently, Greg?
well, we have a lot of PRB stuff, and I made a lot of choices, and honestly, Matt made a lot of choices too.
Sweet. Well, let's blast through them.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if I have all the right tabs open here, so bear with if I get these a little funky, Greg.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. I'll try to pay attention. All right, this is demographic reports from Alex Lana, and like his other one that pulled back like sort of what people were buying. This one pulls back information based on attributes you have set for your customers when they check out
Cool.
e-commerce.
Very cool.
Nice. Pretty graphs.
Yep. And next up is sharing the box from Jeremy, and this is it pulls in some kind of like a little conversation wall kind of a thing for you. on the
Nice.
side.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
guest booky type
Yeah,
deal.
it works as a block. It's not bad. This next thing is Nero Blue, and it is a theme, and it is mostly blue.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Cool theme.
Got some buttons.
It's responsive.
Next
Whoa.
up is Stripe, and it's another theme
Striper.
from 55 Web Design. Yeah, and if you are a fan of Christian hair metal from the 80s,
And who isn't? Let's
Right.
just stop and take a
there's
moment.
no other theme that you should be using except for this one.
Okay. Ow!
Next up is
Oh.
the Karma theme, which is an appropriately named theme for concrete5.
Nice.
And it's by PSD Addict.
Sweet.
And it uses Bootstrap. It's responsive because of Bootstrap,
It's
probably.
looking good, man. This one's selling already, man.
Yeah, it's a great theme, I think.
I think so too.
And next up is Grid 2.4, and I
Wow.
believe this is another one from 55 Web Design.
Nice.
And it's, a grid theme.
It's great.
Fully responsive.
Lots of
Nice.
colors.
Cool.
And Skyline theme, right? Yeah. No, Metris theme
Metris.
from Vidal.
That's
And-
attractive.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Good.
Color choices. Why
Yeah,
not?
subdued.
Yeah.
Elegant.
Next up is Skyline theme from
beauty.
Sarah 3585, which is I believe a new developer.
Nice.
And I'm
Always
guessing
good
if
to
it's
have new
Sarah,
developers.
it's a female developer, which is always awesome in the computer world.
Sure.
And
Yeah, the
next
theme
up,
quality is going
Yeah,
up.
that's very
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and that's a good theme too. Yeah,
That's a good theme.
So I got a duplicate here.
Metris
Yep.
Did that one.
multi-theme from Alex Lana, and this is a add-on that I believe kind of lets you select in a programmatic way like which themes you want in your site, so you don't have to like pick per page,
Oh.
which you can already do in concrete5. I don't know if we hype that enough, do we? Because do other systems allow that?
No, it's
we
pretty-
don't.
it is pretty
It's a
unique to
very
us.
handy thing.
And it was a choice that was made early on because other systems didn't
Yeah,
let you
because
do
you
Yeah.
can't really do a lot with that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right, so what we're saying, for those that don't know, cut to me, man.
Get in there.
Hello.
Hello. What we're saying is you can apply a different theme to any page in your website with concrete5. And in fact, when you make a new page underneath something, it looks to the theme that was applied to that parent page and just inherits that. So if you wanted to have one part of your website over here, all bright and
Yeah.
responsive and I don't know, and then you have some other fancy part of your website that had like a Christmas theme, you could make pages
Absolutely.
underneath it, it would stay that way, whereas this clean, normal one would stay that way.
Yeah.
And you can actually, from the theme page types, one of those dashboard
Yeah, the
pages, there's
design
an
and-
activate button.
Yes.
And that just goes through the whole site and applies the theme that you're hitting activate on for every page in your site.
And it resets it to that.
Resets it, so it's like a wipe across the whole thing. But it's my understanding that this multi-theme settings thing would give you a little bit more granular control over that bulk apply.
Yeah, the idea that if you you can set a theme and then pages you make under that will inherit that theme, but if you perhaps have made these pages already and you want want
You
to.
go through one by one.
And yes, and there's also a convention in Concrete that can set themes based on the path of the site programmatically, which may be also what this is doing as well, because it looks like it's showing paths as well. So that could be how it gets done. But there's a lot of flexibility.
A lot of flexibility and power in that approach. All right, you can get rid of me.
Alright.
Cool. Ooh.
Next up, we have the Metropolis theme from Talisman, and it's kind of a colorful theme there. Some pretty big
That's
navigation.
cool. That's unique.
What? Yeah.
And next up is Whale Page List from Sharok. And it's basically the page list block, but it kind of applies some different looks
Cool.
within the block's controller as opposed to templating.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And
Whoa.
next up is auto-sized image block from Sadu. And it's a little bit more than just a thing that adjusts the size of images to fit into whatever content area that you're putting them in. It actually kind of does a little bit of gallery functionality and stuff with it too. So it's a pretty nice thing if you have, you know, kind of an image-heavy site.
Cool.
Next up is the Facebook Open Graph add-on from San Bernard, and this one basically lets you decide how a page that you want people to share on Facebook will be represented in Facebook. And
Yeah, because they have
so-
all their special meta tags.
right, their
Right.
OG properties there. So
Nice.
yeah, so like basically, yeah, that's
It's a really interesting
I don't know why
example.
you have
Yeah.
human
URL.
trafficking
That's
tailgate
cool, I
parties.
guess.
Yeah. It takes all kinds.
I don't know if I support that at all.
Yeah. All right, and
Raw.
but yeah, that one's a cool one. Yeah, and next up is this is Hide
Your favorite?
Dashboard Dropdown from Jordan Lev.
Okay.
And if you get sick of that thing getting all over your content every time you mouse over that dashboard button, this thing will just prevent that whole mess from ever happening.
Cool.
Yep. So next up is this is
All-in-one slide.
all-in-one image slider from Proverbid, and it's pretty much as described. It's got a lot of image sliding options.
Cool.
Yep. Next up is VR Watermark from VR Add-ons or Vradons, and this one will put some text onto your images using an attribute setting, and you can use concrete5's file versioning to kind of pick and choose how you want that attribute. You know, so if you roll it back to the version before you applied the watermark, it'll
Still
remove
have
the
the original
watermark.
But it's putting it actually on the image. It's not some
It is,
goofy
yeah, it's
JavaScript thing
not,
you can get
yeah,
around.
it
Yeah.
uses GD or
Oh,
whatever,
sweet.
so that text
Nice.
is
Real watermark.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Next, I believe this is the last one. Yeah, this is the
Okay.
Show Me theme from Talakman, and you know, it's another sort of one of these kind of, you know, see-through backgroundy, you know, stretched picture things he's been doing lately. And
I like those.
it's a nice one,
Yeah.
and he says it's perfect for visual artists, musicians, and vain people.
Oh, hey man.
I'm gonna put my own
Just
face
said I
in
like
the back of my website.
No, Talakman does a good job describing that.
Nice.
All
Looking
right,
good.
that's it.
Cool.
Great choices.
Great choices indeed.
All right.
I think we've got our missing intro for Showcase
Ooh.
Showdown.
Haven't seen
We've got
this.
new intros in the
Exciting.
work, but they weren't quite ready for today. So we're just gonna do a little ad hoc showcase intro.
Ah!
And
Jazz hands showcase.
are you ready? Oh,
I'm getting ready. I got a
Oh,
lot of
not
tabs to open up
all
here.
right.
A lot of showcase.
It's a showcase dream sequence.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This week, the Showcase Showdown's all about education. We often get asked, does anyone use concrete5 for insert vertical here, banking, education, government, whatever. The answer is yes. People use concrete5 for all sorts of things. So we did a little Google searching, and we did a little web spidering, looking for CCM tags and that kind of thing, and put together a pile of just very off the top of the head. Here are all concrete5 sites for different colleges, departments within colleges. Indiana University School of Medicine has used concrete5 for quite some time. They're actually using our that enterprise workflow add-on that I was talking about earlier. So get on it, guys. There's that guy doing some lawyering. Him, sweater and stuff. Yeah, there's more good looking stuff with sliders and navigations and links and stuff. Ecology. There's another one.
Villanova.
Yep. Giving away iPods. There's the police department at North Carolina State University doing criminal investigation. And you got some Ohio State University printing department apparently. That need help with your printer and Ohio University. You're doing it through concrete5. Oh, that must bring back memories for you, Matt.
Yep.
What com? This com. I am what com.
Bob.
There you go. Doing some learning and stuff with the Collegiate Concrete5 collection. Wow, that sounded pretty good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, there's Breck with drop downs and facilities management at Western Michigan University. Straight concrete5, yo.
Cool.
There you go. That's just a small sampling of what we were able to find. We're going to put together a page at some point in the future of examples by verticals, but until then, we'll just keep doing a showcase, showdown stuff. So look forward to next week. It's going to be even more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So how are we doing here? We did this. We did that. Yep. I think we're ready for how we do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
How would we do that?
All right. So today we're going to show off some more 5.7 stuff, and that's going to be sweet. So here's Andy showing off some 5.7 stuff. There you go. All right.
Rearrange stuff.
Transition. We'll walk down the hall here
Oh, yeah.
to the video
Down to
production
Vid HQ.
room and get into the screencasting
really loud.
section. All right, Andy, what are we looking at?
Today we are looking at another new feature of that's coming in 5.7, and this feature is a completely updated version of Composer.
Oh boy, oh boy.
So while I sign in, if you want to
I can give some context?
Yeah, a little reminder of what
I'm good at
Composer
context.
is.
So Composer got added a version or two ago in concrete5 because we thought there was a need to separate the idea of editing content and creating content. And our experience had shown that in-context editing made a lot of sense for a kind of marketing-heavy website where there is a strong process to create something that looked perfect in the first place, and then you wanted to change it over time. So, you know, handing off a site to a client saying, hey, if you want to add some text or fix a typo, you just put a page in edit mode and you're off to the races. That makes a lot of sense. It makes less sense when you compare it to kind of the blogging experience of I'm really drunk and want to write a passionate treatise about my kitty, and you know, where do I go to do that where it's not going to be published? And you know, you have to make a page underneath a page. You have to go to where you want in the site tree before you can even start making a page, and then you make that page, and you got to remember to hit preview, not publish. And it's easy to want to hit the big blue button instead of the small gray button, and the whole thing just feels scary. And even though I just previewed it, does it show up in the navigations? And technically, you know, all the answers are no, it doesn't, and it works fine, and it's quite solid. But from a process perspective, it can be a little counterintuitive. Also a little frustrating there was no autosave built into that, because I don't know, we would just see people like bust open a page, add a content block, and just start typing, and we're sitting there thinking, oh my god, you know, please say what you're doing.
Leaving it open for hours.
Yeah, coming back hours later, you're like, oh, it's a miracle that works at all. So we built Composer with the idea of, well, this gives you that kind of traditional WordPress blog approach of, you know, I want to go somewhere, add some content to an interface, and you know, it saves as it goes, and I can worry about where I want to publish it and how it should look and when I want to publish it later. I'm just composing. So that was the original idea. Now, today it feels a little strapped in, and it kind of serves, I don't know, it kind of like addresses several different problems, probably not spectacularly in any different vein. You've got what I've already described as kind of like blogging as a verb. You've also got this desire to kind of make CRUD interfaces, like, you know, I've got a strong page type that is boats. And you know, on my boats page type, I've got a picture of the boat, I've got the price of the boat, I've got a whole bunch of information that I'm tracking in custom attributes, and I want to make an interface to build those pages out, so I don't have to train someone on in-context editing. And Composer solves that very well today too. You can add those blocks to a Composer template, and you can have this. I mean, almost the way with Ruby you do scaffolding or something. Like you can make a form, as it were, that auto saves as you goes and gives you more control. But you know, it's not. Again, it kind of solves that, but not as spectacularly as we might like it to.
There are a number of limitations to it, and you are roped into using it in the dashboard. You're sort of roped into the way it wants to display its form fields, that kind of stuff.
So now we're rethinking all of that. There's your context.
Yes. So for what Franz was saying, this is you know, a blog entry in the sample content of a concrete5 site, and of course you can go to this page to edit it, but for adding these pages, there's a number of different components. If I put this page in edit mode, there's this thumbnail image, which is what is used to display the thumbnail on the page list that lists these out. There's this header image that has to be sized correctly, and there's this content. And there's also tags, which is, this is a block, but if I actually go to the properties section of this page, that's actually a custom attribute that has to be in there. It has to be in the blog section of the site. There are a lot of requirements for this. So in Composer, in order to do this, and this is similar to how it works today, what we would do is we would set up a new Composer. And right off the bat, if you're familiar with Composer at all, this is going to look a little different, because no longer are these things tied directly to page types. So in concrete5 today, 5.6 and below, when you want to make something be accessed in Composer, you have to make a page type for it. You have to go to that page type, you have to turn those settings on for that page type, and you only get one Composer per page type. And we've sort of decoupled all of that stuff in Composer 2.0. So if I go to my basic details for blog entry, you can see I've got the name. I can actually have multiple page types here that this could support. And right now, in order to recreate the current blog of concrete5 in the new Composer, I have just created blog entry here. And then publish method, I am always publishing it below the blog page, but much like Composer of old, you can make it so that these items allow you to publish in different ways. And then if I head back here, another thing that you'll notice is no longer do we handle any of this stuff Composer-wise from the actual defaults section. Defaults are still honored, but you'll notice here when I go into edit my form, I have basically a supercharged form building tool that allows me to group attributes, blocks, and actual core concrete5 properties. So I can add a field set. I can add as many of these as I want. I don't have to add a field set. Well, I have to add at least one field set, but I don't have to give it a name. And I've got basics, attributes, and body. And then if I go down here, I can add different blocks, properties, custom attributes, and the built-in properties are the things in concrete5 that you have to have. So you could actually create a Composer with nothing in it, and then it would be functionally useless, but you can do that if you are so inclined. And you could create a Composer without access to changing the URL, but giving them the page name. Basically, a lot of the stuff that we hard-coded in the Composer interface before is something you can optionally include or exclude as you are so inclined. And down here you'll notice we've added header image, thumbnail tags, all the stuff we had in the old blog. We have custom Composer templates just like before. Any particular item in this list of stuff can provide a template if it chooses. And then another big new addition is you can choose optionally if any particular piece of content is required when filling out this Composer. So I can make tags required or not required. header image, I believe I have required, as well as thumbnail. I can give all of these things custom labels, so no longer are you, you know, roped into calling something main content because it appears in the main content area, etc. And then this is a, what is this guy? This guy is actually a content block that I have named body. And then of course you can do the standard stuff like moving, like reordering these things, and you can reorder the actual attribute sets and things like that. You really have total control over over how you present these forms.
Sweet.
And so I have created this blog entry form. Then I can even go out here and click the Output tab, and here I am choosing which blocks appear in which areas on the page types in question. And so this goes through my blog entry page type, figures out what areas it contains, and decides where to dump the blocks into it. And you'll notice there's no attributes or properties in this list because those don't actually show up in the page. Only blocks show up here.
So this would let me do something like make a composer template for boats that gather all this information, but then let people be able to use it on page types that may be mapped to different form factors.
Exactly.
Right? So I could have 2-column and 3-column page types. I could choose when I was making a boat which one I wanted to go, and this interface would tell Composer, hey, for all the data that we're collecting, put it in these block areas for the 2-column and those block areas for the 3-column.
That is exactly right. As you can see here, we've got blog entries, the only tab up here, but if I added more page types to my Composer, I could, if I added a 3-column one like Franz is saying, I could click on that and choose where stuff goes in that template.
Sure.
So you really have total sort of output control. And then of course in permissions here, we have an advanced permission that allows you to choose which users have access to compose using this. Of course, they still have to get into the dashboard to do that. More on that later. But you have control over that stuff as well.
Pretty cool.
So then if I go into my right Composer bit, you'll see this honors my setup entirely. Another huge new thing, actually it's very small, but I think people will like this. It just shows the level of polish we're trying to go for here. No longer, if you actually write a Composer draft, is it actually create a draft the moment that you, actually I'll discard is a wrong example. If I go back to drafts, I have not created a draft until it's auto-saves for the first time. So I'll delete all my old drafts. If I go back to drafts here, no drafts. So hopefully this will get rid of that problem where you're experimenting with Composer a bunch and you're reloading pages and then all of a sudden you have like 10 empty drafts and you got to clear all those out. It only makes a draft for you when it auto-saves. And of course autosave still works, and all this basic stuff, and all the custom Composer templates still work as well, and you can publish to the page just the same way you normally do.
Pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. And of course one thing that will show you the kind of sort of level of customization that you can do if you want. If we were, for example, to work on a site where somebody did not want to actually, they wanted to populate the meta title of a page for SEO purposes, but they didn't see the need to have 2 duplicate form fields because they didn't want to have their users have to type in page name and meta title, you could actually remove page name, the core page name property from here, and replace it with meta title up here. And these composers are smart enough to be able to look at the particular attributes you're working with and do special programmatic things with them. And this is stuff that all developers will be able to do as well. This is my sweet page. And then if I were to publish this, I'm going to get some errors because I've marked my attributes as required, which is another nice new feature.
So some basic validation in there.
And if I publish this, I have published my page, and this is my sweet page, and I actually can't read my meta title, of course, from this tiny tab. But if I go into blog, you'll see this is my sweet page is named with my meta title, and if I go into the page source, you'll see that "This is my sweet page" is actually the meta title attribute. So Composer is smart enough to use meta title as its building block for the actual page
You got
name
this layer
up
to
here.
interpret the input and decide what to do with it when you hit publish. So you
Exactly.
might even do something like just have a big body field and say, look, the first line from that body field is the page name, the meta title, and the URL.
That is correct, and
Yeah.
you could totally do something like that.
Cool.
And just to leave it on that note, on an exciting note, I will show a super simple block that I whipped up this morning, which may or may not totally work. But if I go into block types, I have created a super simple block called Front End Composer. If I install this block, I can go into my main area, go into Other, click Front End Composer, and get a list of my composers. And then you'll see that I can actually drop my composer stuff right into the front end of my page.
So composer forums become things you can share with your audience. You could have add a boat
That's right.
to a group that was semi-public or fully public, and that would make new pages. You could do it in an overlay. You could do it on the page.
You can do it in
You
an
could
overlay.
do it on a train. You could do it on a plane.
And it all still honors the same validation. You can see that I don't have the form styles included in my theme to make this really sing yet, but you can see that it is posting. It's making sure that this works. I have programmatically disabled autosave in this block, so you can do that through JavaScript API. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do.
I think
And
this will
it's very
solve a lot of
powerful.
problems. You know, you see people basically talk about different ways to have user-contributed content for years. You know, I want to set up a contest where people can upload pictures and have their own page with that thing on there. This is kind of the bones for that.
That's right.
Last thing I wanted to call, because I think
Yes.
it's glazed over. If you go to that little edit
Probably.
icon on the page, no, go back just to the general. So I think people will be surprised as to adding a new page.
Oh,
Just go back.
whoopsie.
Yep. So it used to be that you'd have to go to where you wanted to add the page before you would add a page in concrete5. And that was always very confusing. When you give a demo, you'd show you in context editing, it'd be awesome, and then you'd say, now let me show you how to add a page, and you have to go into this whole diatribe about your site being a tree and that kind of thing. Now, you got this little edit icon, it's edit a page, new page, you can see there's drafts right under there. So we're going to build in, I don't know what state you have this in.
Yeah.
But the idea in the big picture is you would be able to add a new page using those composer templates from anywhere, because you don't have to choose where it goes until you actually hit publish. And so this would show
Right.
some recent drafts. This would give you your composer templates in an overlay or on a new page, and kind of take that step of, you know, having to explain a tree and having to have buttons that have the word sub in them. Pull that out, make this even simpler for people.
That's right. All of the entire composer interface, including validation, all of the blocks, all the attributes, can work and does work in an overlay. So we'll be able to create these pages from anywhere. All the drafts will be available for editing in the overlay from anywhere in the dashboard or from the front end. And it is all being built with that expectation.
Good looking. Nice work, Andy.
Cool.
All right, let's do some, well, first let's look at our Facebook page and see if I'm giving this book to anyone yet. And meanwhile, people can ask the questions in the chat room, and we'll look at them and, you know, pick which ones we want to answer. Hey-oh.
Cherry picking.
Cherry picking. Let's see, who's winning this book? Where do we look? How does this work? What's Facebook? Great work on a recent post by others on. Is that it? Is that where we go? What do we do?
Oh, gotta log in.
We may not have anything.
We may not.
No, I
You
saw-
guys
I saw a
posted-
couple posts
People
there.
doing this?
I saw a couple posts on there.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Julia will tell us.
I see Waylon, I see Renato.
Green.
We got 2 posts so far.
It was supposed to be the 5th post.
Yeah,
I
well,
want
you know.
that more post button to work. How about we go look at questions? Maybe Julia will figure this out and jump into chat and help us Facebook plebes. Well,
We don't know anything.
we don't know what we're doing. All right,
All
who's
right.
got a question?
It's the exciting part of the program where I look through the chat log and see if there's a question in there.
Woo! We need some theme music while this happens.
This a real.
What? No, this is pretty solid. This is solid air right now. Is it not? Is this not compelling?
Well, Dave Letterman does.
I'm not seeing any questions.
All right, well, I'm glad you liked
Their
it.
jaws
And
are
like-
on the ground.
On the
They're
ground.
not
I love
picking them
Composer.
up.
Questions in caps.
Oh, I see a couple now.
That's
Okay,
smart.
Okay.
In the future.
This one's from Signal Zero. They ask, is there a way to turn off approvals on pages? That is the blue bar with the approve button that appears after publishing.
Well, if you just hit approve when you publish,
You will never see.
you'll never see that.
That's correct.
So, like, we need more context. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? You want people who can only preview stuff, like they can submit changes but not approve them.
Or they can. They can't even. They aren't even given the option to make them pending.
Anything is
Can't
possible.
do that.
Yeah,
So,
I would
yeah.
say, I mean, typically you see that blue bar when you preview a post,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually that means that you have permissions to approve it, but you have not. So,
Or maybe you don't, but you do have permissions to read the additional versions of the page. So you can view the most recent version of a page and may or may not be able to approve it.
No option given to non-admin users.
that's how it works. Yes. So, I guess a couple of thoughts. Turn on advanced permissions.
Yeah.
If you're not using advanced permissions, there's, well, it's far more advanced. Second off, yeah, if you are, I mean, maybe just set up an instant setup and double check that you're making permissions in groups and everything the way you intend to, because it's possible you are granting rights in a way you don't, you're not imagining.
Yeah.
concrete5 generally treats things as inclusive rather than exclusive. So if I am in the administrators and the sub-administrators group, I have the rights to do everything. Versus being, because I'm in the sub-administrators group, I don't have the rights to do things that the sub-administrator wouldn't. So there's that possibility. But yeah, if you set it up so someone has rights to make changes to the page but not approve them, then they should only see the preview button.
Yeah.
And they should not see a blue bar. Well, they should see a blue bar saying this page is pending changes,
Yeah.
but no button to actually approve it.
Correct.
So they know they're looking at something that the rest of the world is not.
Yes,
That
that
way,
is
it's the only way you would know that, look, this is a...
This is not the live version of the site for most.
When you have a client on the phone, what do you mean?
Yeah.
The typo's fixed. No, it isn't. Not to them. But if you do have rights to approve it on that page, you should see a button in that little blue bar that says, do it! Thumbs up. And you can do it. That's right. That's right. There you go. Other questions?
Just to kind of add to that, Strider says there might be kind of a weird bug with upgrading from an older site that might be affecting that in terms of approval permissions there. So, good thing to look into, I guess. One
You're running the latest version.
Yeah. One thing from John the Fish. Do we have any thoughts on giving more granular control of the block cache in 5.7?
We haven't really thought about that. We probably would want to know what that meant exactly.
To what end?
To what end? That's always a good question to
Why?
ask in these types of situations.
What are you trying to do? So there's that.
Got one from Jay Steele, and this is from IRC, kind of brought over by Hearing
Out of the depths of IRC and into the protected shelter of the social stream.
A scaly hand.
Questions. That's awesome.
And he asks, is there a way to change the path that you get? I think when you search, it looks like search by looks like it's something to do with the tags attribute there, where you get
Oh, like a crazy path?
like search results / with attribute key ID and then other stuff. In
Yeah,
there.
that sure would be nice, huh? Not today, but we would be totally open to novel solutions regarding that. You want it to be something that can work in all cases. We've certainly done exactly that type of more vanity URL-esque, prettier URLs for search and filtering on sites, but it usually takes some custom development. But we would be open to thoughts about how we might do something along those lines. Otherwise, you probably have to get down and dirty with the code to do something like that.
Take that answer back to the primordial ooze of IRC.
Yeah.
John the Fish adds that he would like to override the on-off of the block cache by page or block, like we can currently do for the page cache.
Yeah, we would give some thought to that. You know, it's always we might give some thought to that in terms of how you might for performance reasons, in terms of making it so that if I really know what I'm doing, I can make a block cache. If for example that block is blocking the cache on that page. Certainly don't want to make it so that add-ons can degrade the performance of a concrete5 site by turning off block caching on blocks that they don't even deal with. I feel like that might be what we're talking about in terms of add-ons that can, you know, programmatically affect other blocks, but those blocks aren't set up in a way to.
It'd be so cool if we had like an actual use case as to why this is important.
Yeah,
just to throw that
I
out
feel
there.
like the PRB might be able to shed some light. I feel like
That'd
this
be
is an
fun.
add-on.
Believe that
an
that could
add-on
happen.
meeting.
I just would love to be able to
Yeah.
steep this conversation in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a thread in the leaders forum,
Ah.
according to John, that might shed some light.
We'll give it another.
Give
We'll
that
give it
one a
another
glance and a post.
Absolutely.
A more thorough format than this exciting video. What else you got?
I think that's about it for questions. It seems like we're almost at that 5-post magic number on our Facebook page.
Somebody stick something in there.
Might win you a book, especially our folks that speak Dutch.
Well, I'm not sending out that one.
Oh, you're not? Oh.
No, I'm sending out the gin and tonic one. I only
Okay.
have one Dutch one.
Oh,
I have to
okay.
keep that turtle with the rocket ship for me.
Never mind.
Never mind. Sorry, Dutch guys.
This one stays in the vault.
Well, to those of us that speak English, then, can read English and.
All right. Well, then I guess what we'll do is we will keep an eye on that and. Oh, what?
Got a winner.
Wagner, number 5, coming at you. Good job. Whoosh, all the way to England. Yes, that'd be something. All right, we'll do that. That sounds good, and probably do the same thing next week. So we got a bunch of these,
Cool.
and maybe show off more 5.7 stuff. We'll see. Yeah, how what floats our boat. And yeah, it's been totally random.
Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time.